Hey, welcome to the show about the generative executive officer. One of the things I'm doing is I'm building this as I go. So I studied all this stuff for the past 2 years. How do you get generative AI to be applied so much in leadership and across an organization that the leader becomes not just the chief executive officer, but the generative executive officer? I believe that chief, I mean, there's still chief, but generative is where you have to be if you're a CEO. And that's whether you're the CEO of a huge company, which I've worked with a ton of those, Larry Ellison. I've been around Tom Siebel. I've been around some big time CEOs, many, many, many. I probably worked with 40 different CEOs, some smaller businesses, but everyone is also the CEO of their life. So I also think this generation that's coming up with AI is just going to be a different type of human. And so the ability for even young people to watch this show and get the idea of what CEOs do is like reading a book about CEO leadership or something like that. But I'm going to focus on, let's see, I should probably add this here. I'm doing everything in PowerPoint, but I think, and I'm going to show you how I'm building this book. I've got all the pieces of the book. And what I want to do is, and it's based on my last book and my last show, which you can see on my YouTube or download from my website and adambloom.me, or click the, you can't see it. It's over there. Here's the thing. I don't want to go on and on into that. The generative executive officer, this is definitely going to be a book about leadership. It's going to be a book about generative AI, and it's going to be a book about humanity, because the generative executive officer, I pray that as we go through this job transition and all that stuff, that that people are handled well. It's going to be a tough road. I have replaced myself with AI more than once. I've been doing software commercialization for like almost 30 years. And I've commercialized work on teams across the board that commercialize software, AI for 12 years before the past 2 years in generative AI. So my first book was about the generative sales and marketing organization. Let me see. You can download it from my website. Do I have? That's live. That's that. I have a video chat open. Okay, so what is going on with that? So new tab. If you want to check out the book that this is based on, and I'm wondering if this background music is too much. I feel like I want to change it to like, let's see what lounge is all about. I'm very curious that I'm doing this show live. If you can hear it, well, you got to be able to hear that. I'm wondering if you can hear my. Oh wow, this is today. This is today. That was a mess. That was a mess. Let me type in AdamBloom.me. Okay, so if you go here, you're going to get to my stuff. The book for strategy is there, but I'm going to talk a little bit differently here with generative executive officer, because they can be 10 times more productive, if not 100 times more productive. And if you're CEO or your founder, or whether you're a YouTuber or an influencer, you're going to think, especially if you're an influencer, about how to optimize your time to maximize the money you're going to make, right? And then you can check the rest out. So also on this was the this was the first show. So if you go to my YouTube, you can get these shows here. And if you're on YouTube watching, that's one thing. If you're on LinkedIn, it's a different deal. And I don't know if I have anyone with me on LinkedIn yet. I gotta check that out. But yeah, here's oh, we're live. Sweet, we're live. But if you go to my videos, you will see. Um, did this not go live? Did I not publish it? Well, I have to make sure it's published. It wouldn't be real if there wasn't. Huh. Not sure why it's. Okay, so that was the. That's really loud. Wow. I'm gonna have to adjust that, and hopefully we can try that again. I don't know if users are hearing that, but this is so crazy. So this was the show yesterday. I'm just so excited about this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I was talking about the book. I want everybody who wants to participate to come interact with me on the show and let's talk about what's going on. But yeah, this was insane. And then this was my favorite. Oh, this the music was supposed to play on this. I'll have to, but this video, it's unbelievable. Fafo. It's just, oh. All right. So I meant to have the music on, but I didn't. In any event, so we're gonna get started on this show, and let me see something real quick. I want to organize this in a certain way. Yeah, so in 2024. All right. So here's where all this came from. Let me lead my peeps. Which is probably no one watching right now, but that's fine. There's a book I wrote last year, and it's called the Generative Sales and Marketing Organization. So I forget when you don't have to rush through a webinar or something, you can just talk. So I'm going to just talk, and you can tune in. But this was the book I wrote, which is dedicated to my daughter. All right, and then it explains how to go to market, how you commercialize technology with generative AI. And I got amazing feedback from venture capitalists and just top notch software executives and even in other industries. But it was impossible to promote yourself unless you happened to connect on Twitter or YouTube or something and already had like the space covered. But all this stuff, the diagrams and the writing and the thinking is me, but the imagery is all AI. And so I'm going to do a different kind of version of a book. And this one serves as the foundation. But I mean, this I loaded into AI. So if you go to my website, ba, 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 and you scroll down, I've had this AI running for almost a year. And if you type this in, it will give you a good answer. All right. It's insane. And then this is AI here, me, which is this horrible version of it. But anyway, this is a year, almost a year ago, I did this show, which I just showed you the YouTube. Oh, that's not cute. And so I'm going to refer to these things. I heard a MAGA rap song the other day. It was hysterical. Anyway, whew. All right. So just to get an idea, because I want to teach people how I'm doing this as well. Like everybody's like, show me your best prompt. I'm not showing you my best prompt. What I'm showing you is how to think about prompts. And of course, I had Musk on the show. And I think, I got interested in studying CEOs in business when I was a kid. So I don't know, I've always studied them. It's a long time. Just study them. I'm so interested in how they think. Tons of them. Everyone I've ever worked for, worked with, etc. Always studied them in depth, like behavioral profile. And Elon is the man. It's like it's hard to believe somebody would like. There was somebody on TV the other day, and I'm going to talk a little bit about politics because humanity is going to have to go through this AI thing, and I think it's appropriate. So we're going to cover a little bit of that. Ooh. Um, let's see, what is this show going to be about? I'm going to bring this up. So this is how I think and do my thing. That's the book, and here is the new one. Yep. Okay. So I work in PowerPoint. And the reason I work in PowerPoint, I can do Photoshop. At some point, I've had all of them. But for me, in the roles I've had, pushing PowerPoint to the edge lets me do a lot of things very fast. And that's such a common business format when you're talking about commercializing stuff that it ends up being, the tool for me. And I've used Canva, and they're all great tools. But the other thing I value about this graphically is its simplicity. Like, if you can do complex graphics, but they're going to all look a certain way. And anyway, so this is the way I do it, and this is the way I did the first book. So let me go back to that for a second. So you like my sound effects? Book. Shabbat shalom, everyone. By the way. Okay, so let me go back here. So you saw that. Come on, come on, come on. Pause. Okay. So you go to my playlists. Um, close that. Oh, not my playlist, but I got like 500 playlists. There's a lot of good stuff in here. Actually, there's one that is generative AI. And this one, I've got almost 200 videos. This list right here, you can see what's happened in the past year. It's like a playlist documentary. It's insane. Of course, each one of these episodes is part of the show. And oh, you saw that one, the generative executive officer. Let's see if we can find that real quick. So in every one of these, I go through and explain how the imagery works and how the thinking works across all the different departments, and I'm using the tools, right? So there's just a huge free training out here, and I try to make it humorous. But as I go through, all right, so this was the GEO, right? So I'll play a little bit. This is kind of let's not do that. Where'd that go? No, that's part of the chat. That's like a chapter overview. Where'd it go? I just saw it. There we go, the GEO. So, and this was the first show with my friend Tom. And here we go. Sorry. So weird talking about yourself on TV, but so this so this was a segment, featured segment for the a feature. Sorry, not a segment. Let's talk a lot about filters. This is what the show's about. Did this almost a year ago. Yeah, this was a while ago. Mhm. I'm very proud of this. So when I automated myself out of a job at the end of 2023, 2023, my company, the startup that I was with, and I parted ways. And I had what's the word? I always forget it. Not an epiphany. Well, there is an epiphany. Oh, an existential crisis. So if you actually see AI do pretty much 90% of your job, yeah, you have an existential crisis, and it can be quite hard. Fortunately, I'd been through before, and I knew how to deal. But ooh, it's the wackiest job market I've ever seen in 30 years. I have such AI expertise. I would get accolades, and then like it was on the other end of the spectrum. People were making no commitments, but playing with what they could. And there was a lot of that. But the world shifted here in 2025, especially with Musk at the helm of, an important part of the government that's been overlooked. Like in the US government, all I've ever heard is that the IT systems are not good, and I hate that for the government employees, but it's time, like, let the smartest guy, I mean, in the world help solve that problem for the government. Let's make the government an AI first government, which is what he's doing. And this is where I'll get on a political thing for a minute. Oh, you know what? I can also change these. At some point, I want to have people calling in. This is so cool. I really like this app. Hmm. And the background is neat. Yeah, I'm digging this. I'm totally digging this. Good product. Good product. Restream. Good job, guys. First time I used you. I know everybody uses you. In any event, who? All right. So politically, I've done business with people in so many countries, and I've got friends and business colleagues that I've made on every continent. Seriously, Israel, Russia, Ukraine, Europe, Sweden, South America, even people in Africa and in Saudi Arabia. Like I'm a software guy, I'm an internet guy, AI guy. Like if you've been in the software industry for any period of time, you probably have colleagues overseas, especially in places like India. Many, many good friends over in that area. Many, many, many good friends. In fact, I got a Ganesha over here, y'all. I also got an Abraham Lincoln and a Quinion, but in any event, we'll talk about my desk setup later. So, this is what it was about. I went a little bit around to get back to this, but hopefully it's entertaining. I'll get better at this as I go. Can I turn this off for a second? There we go. It's so crazy. Oops. No, there we go. This is my business partner forever. Smart man. Sometimes over aggressive. Me too at points. Let me back that up. I shouldn't be talking over. All right, where are we? Okay, here we go. All right, my bad. So, so I want to pause that for a minute, actually. So what I want to do is explain this a little bit more. So again, this is my PowerPoint. Nope. Um, that's not what I wanted. I wanted, nope, 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 nope. Go back. Plus, you get to see my desktop and how I do work, and sometimes I go super fast. I will with all the AI stuff. So, let's see. So I'm gonna take this back down to you know what? The other thing I like about this for when you're working with like since I'm on screen, I mean, you're my desktop, my computer is my, I think all streamers get that. By the way, just anyone who's been a professional in the software business, in marketing, or in sales for that matter, if you aren't studying how the streamers monetize, you're you're behind the times. You're way behind the times. Way behind the times. In any event, so I have the Musk thing here. I'm gonna put my logo on this so I get kind of a whoop, whoop, don't want that. So basically, this gives me like building blocks when I want to explain concepts, but I can build it as I'm talking to you. So I just like Musk's. I put it on his forehead. What is that? What is that? Um, Third eye. It's the third eye. Musk third eye. So, oh, and by the way, my logo, Adam Bloom. Get it? Adam Bloom. I'm an Adam Bloom. My hair, right? In any event, where was I? Okay, so I wanted to make a point about the GEO. All right. So why is that doing that? I don't want that. Go away. There we go. So I want to, and this is crazy, right? Like, let's just see how Copilot does. All right. What is a generative executive officer? So Copilot has a certain language model. And if it doesn't have, and just think of that as a giant knowledge base or a giant every dictionary ever made, plus some. But let's just see if it can talk to the internet. Oh, huh. I wonder who did this. What is this one? Let's see if I'm up here yet. So I got to get up here. Generative AI. Okay, so Deloitte. Deloitte. So Deloitte's got a paper I should check out. All Deloitte. Good job, Deloitte. Good thinking. Let's see what happens here. I just want to bring it up. So they actually are connected to the interwebs here. This is yeah, there you go. So I'm going to do this in a different way, and I'll go back and compare myself to this or talk about it, but I think you're going to have a lot more fun my way. And I'll place bets. I'll place gentlemen's bets that my content is as good. Ego aside, that's my goal. I am determined to make sure my content is way better than that. So, Deloitte's my competitor. It's funny because I have a whole team of bot consultants at this point that can do everything. I tried to start a business in this last year until this guy got greedy on me. But anyway, all right. So, GEO. So, the main thing I want to talk about is like when you're the CEO, can I get this to go down? Show times only. And then you're the GEO. Okay. Mindset, serious mindset, leadership stuff. I've studied leadership since I was a kid. Again, I've had an obsession with CEOs, and that's from childhood baggage, but it's made me really good at it. So, what are you managing here, really, right? You're managing people, right? You're managing money, you're managing other assets, you're managing time, you're managing communications, at a high level. Like if you take a more of a Musk view of first principles and you get down to the core and take everything away, it's kind of like these are the main things. All right. And so don't think about it. I mean, you can think about it if you want as sales and marketing and, customer service and the whole customer experience, and then the back office, whatever you got back there, and the partner networks. All that stuff does fit in here with VP names and all that, but you got to stop. You got to stop even thinking that the traditional organizational model is even relevant anymore. You do. Now, if you're in an industry where you sell atoms versus bits, and I can include money as bits, media as bits, software as bits, anything purely digital, but every company's got a lot of digital stuff. In any event, all of this stuff changes. It just changes radically. It changes radically, radically. I mean, I even have a video of myself somewhere saying it exactly like that. The change here is unprecedented. And until you've really spent the time, if I was, and I am helping a CEO right now, it's a client of mine. I'm actually starting a digital first charity with mental health, but my first client is death, suicide, and prevention. That's one way to look at it: stress, depression, and suicide. And so it's the Will to Live org, will-to-live.org. I'm so excited about working with their team and the family. And my charity is going to also operate in the area. So, and he's a senior executive. He's a real business guy, and been doing it a while. Been doing it, and a great story. He lost his son, and I went through something like this personally back in 2010. It was a rough time, but I'm so excited about that. It's like dream come true. Thank you, God. Amen. So I'm going through this process right now. I'm going to build the book. I'm going to teach you to either be a GEO if you don't know what it is yet, or I'm going to teach you to be the GEO of your life, basically. You have to learn how to become an AI enabled human. Everyone does. Every company does. And this is way more transformative than digital transformation. This makes digital transformation, the past decade and a half look like nothing happened. Yeah, maybe that's an overstep. But it's like your entire brain, if this is your head and those are your ears, and let's say you're a girl, let's give you, wow, that's bad. Yeah, that's pretty bad. But I think we're really talking about mindset here. We really are. If you have a cognitive bias where you see world A right now, this is world A, you can't fully see world B yet. You're kind of migrating over here, right? Your perception's changing. But this is something like you got to go deep to see it. You got to go deep. When you start prompting with, instead of a sentence, like you're prompting paragraphs of stuff, now you're getting somewhere. So we're going to talk about that in this book as well. Well, I misspoke a little bit as my head moves on to the other topic. We're not just going to talk about it. That's what this whole thing is going to be. We're going to unpack it. There's leadership aspects with generative AI, and then with generative AI and humanity. It's kind of like those I think are going to be, and anyone that has feedback, please, I'm going to put out a call-in number. You can find me on WhatsApp. But here, I think, is the main point I want to make with this. So, boop, boop, boop. All right. So, in my prior book, and you saw it, I was focused on these three circles. It was sales, marketing, and product. It was the things that make revenue come in. The back office, I didn't really cover, but of course, obviously, there's good stuff there. It's just I've been on commercialization. But I'll tell you the big thing is with AI, this lowered cost probably impacts the back office. I won't say as much, if not more, but the savings coming from here, if you're a CFO, look at chapter one in my book or watch chapter one on the show. I go into depth here. Um, but so that was, sales marketing. And then we were talking about this kind of being the sweet spot, a little propeller. But now in the shift for this book, I'm going to talk about what I was just saying here, right? This is about leadership. This is about generative AI as a business. Like, what does it do to your business model fundamentally? I need to put an and in here. Sounds like I got a cop in the background. I live in Atlanta, by the way. Anyone that wants to hook up, reach out. But anyway, so and I wonder how long I'm going at this point. Is the counter? Where's the counter? Okay, I've been going 30 minutes. Okay, good. So anyway, going back to this, right? It's these three things: boop, 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 and da 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 da, boop. So these three things are going ha ha ho ho ho. There we go. All right. So these three things are going in these circles. I think this is where it's going to go. But any feedback for somebody watching this that wants to engage, just let me know. I'm kind of doing it fluidly to see how it works, but I got some ideas in mind. So again, in this episode, I really want to talk about the GEO. So if we just take a step back, this was a first pass. This is nowhere near close what I want to do. But I did like this one. And part of this show, because I was fundamentally taught as a designer, as an industrial designer, and as a product designer, and as a UI designer, it's first principles thinking, it's design thinking. And I'll just be honest, unless you absolutely think that way and you can stand up in front of a bunch of people and really explain it clearly for 10 minutes and you can talk about what it takes to be truly creative, then you're not one. Because there's so many operational people I've worked with and creative thinking, it's like it drives them nuts. They think very logically and linearly. So I'm going to, MIT talks about this, Harvard. I'm going to give you the design thinking view, the first principles view. I'm going to question myself with AI. Like, this is going to be really, really hardcore. Everything I've learned in, like, people say I got a karate black belt in this stuff or whatever. Like, and my lineage has many, many, many Bruce Lees. I kind of like looking at it more like that than the traditional career. But all right. So the generative executive officer, I think, I've explained what it is. I've bounced around a little bit in this first early show. I'm not sure how long I'm going to make these, but the fact that I can make them whenever is really cool, and that I don't have to do any edits. That's nice, very nice. So this is streaming on LinkedIn and YouTube, and I appreciate all my followers who would subscribe, of course, to this show and spread the word. I am open for business. I'm looking for consulting work, potentially job fits. We would have to see. I tend to be not what you put on a job description. I don't fit. But I love working with charities. I love working with entrepreneurs. I love working with ventures. And those can also be at big companies. But I'm definitely a classic change agent, and I have to turn myself off about 80% in a lot of environments because it's just too much pace. Now, if you're at a Google or a Siebel or a Salesforce and you've been used to that pace, or Pivotal or Databricks or whatever, then it's a different thing. Anyway, so this is what it's about, the generative executive officer. And I'll I'll talk about these three things for a minute, and we can just kind of chill here for a minute. I can't wait to have guests on. It's going to be so cool, so cool. And I want to set it up so people can like ring in, and I can have them live on the show in real time. Even CEOs, just yeah, this is going to be a blast. I'm so excited. Ooh, I'm also feeling a little worn out. I hope to have a little bit more humor injected in. Actually, mm, no, I'll bring this up another time. We did a lot of humor in the main show. All right. Well, with that said, let's see. I'm going to talk about those three items. You can kind of see what I've been working on here. Generative led growth, generative organization. Those were in 2000, early parts also the Grateful organization. And you can kind of see this is the will to live that I was talking about. And then somewhere in here is my new book, The Generative Executive Officer, and you can see this is how far I've gotten. I'm starting from scratch, and I'll show you how I build out these folders and all this kind of stuff. So at some point, you're gonna want a bot or a set of agents that is your custom made generative executive officer. Crazy, right? I'm gonna show you how to do it. Build yourself as a generative executive officer. A lot of room to explore, a lot of ideas here. Let's move this down. What else did I got? Maybe I think I want to talk about those three things: leadership, the fundamentals of generative AI and humanity for a minute. And then I'll close by showing not that. Oh, yeah, I'm going to close with this. The actual show. What am I looking for? I'm not looking for this. I'm not looking for that. I want to go back to me. I need to update that. Okay. There's the background. Oh, cool. It shows up right there. Nice. Nice job, YouTube. Oh, look. And I'm live. It's like streaming behind me. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Now I've forgotten what I'm looking for. In any event, in studying basically as I wrote this book on generative sales and marketing, um, you know, it's like how's every part of this going to change? And so as I write this book for CEOs who want to join on this and learn about it, in the past year I've had several CEOs and similar reach out and connect with me and say, I saw you're doing so much with this. I want to make a generative AI of myself. And it's like, huh? And then it's, I want to make a generative AI of another CEO. And I'm like, okay, I'll just teach you how to do it. It's not that hard. And they're like, what? Of course, you can get the basics, but more advanced gets harder. But it's so mind blowing, just the basics, that it's so valuable to unpack this. You will make far wiser, better decisions with this information because any bias you have right now is going to be exposed. Um, let's go to this YouTube, and I'm going to end with this, and I hope the audio works. Where are we on time? So let me talk about. Probably going to do this another 20 minutes. So let me change the future, the sound. So yeah, I've really been. Wow, I love it when that gets shown on my. Never watched the show, but apparently Google thinks I would be intrigued by it, and frankly, it is intriguing. Yeah, Zelensky. So what I want to look for is this video, and I want to unpack it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to unpack this video. Now I'm going to do that second. I'm going to do that second. I'm going to talk about leadership first. So, FAFO, my bad. No, no, no. FAFO, Trump. And by the way, to my Democrat friends, you're literally having an identity crisis. Um, oh, come on. Where is it? Fafo Rock. Fafo Rock. This one was. Nope, 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 no, 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 no. Oh, this was hysterical. I don't know if you guys saw this. This was hysterical. So, of course, it's really weird. So, as we're going through this, maybe now I know what I was going for. I was going for my view all, but that's kind of weird that I'm just going to have the guts to show you what I've been looking at. That one was crazy. How can you not click on that? Ah, my comedian friend in the UK, same name, super, super great guy, super smart. All right, so I love this kind of ancient Hindu stuff. I've been really keeping up with politics more than I ever have in my life. There's so much going on right now in politics. There's nothing like it before. But as an American who has said forever, I just want the words Democrat and Republican to be illegal because I want a reboot. This is a reboot. You know, it happens to be driven by one side. Um, but I'm for change. And if you don't want change, your fellow American's dead, and you're just going to have to watch it out. I mean, yeah, but there's an identity crisis going on. I've talked to many Democrats about this, many, many, many. So if you feel like you are completely in hell, just understand that there's a lot of Democrats out there that feel the same way, and they're trying to explore it and make peace with it. And the ones that will fight the psychology, oh, that's going to be part of the leadership talk too, because I really learned a lot about neuropsychology going through what I did in 2010. But what I thought was amazing about this video, and this is an example for a GEO. So I'll do a generative executive officer. Oh, and by the way, Zelensky, I know I keep commenting on this, but it's hard not to. Zelensky, it was just the lack of consideration and not being able to think ahead of time about the way to get what he wants. It was just I don't know. I don't know. It was a terrible showing. Anyway, so I started doing uh, podcasts back in 2003. I was super early, and then I worked for the first podcast company, Pod Show, and always a shout out to Adam Curry. I probably listened to 150 episodes of the Daily Source Code when the first podcaster who really became mainstream, Adam Curry, was teaching everybody how to do it. And so I got to learn a lot about viral stuff, and I ran part of that network for a minute, and we were always looking for viral stuff. That was what built the network. So I've known about how this stuff works for a while, and art captivates people, humor captivates people, right? And now it's everywhere. I mean, Instagram or any of these. It's like, how do you get people's attention? So I was trying to think TikTok, Facebook, all this. And this is done with AI. And I'm pretty sure um, I'll look into the details in a minute. But if you're in social media, you're going to look in this in a different way. But if you're a CEO, even of a bigger company, all right, this is what your marketing department, whatever money you're spending on marketing, let's say it's $1 million or $10 million or $100 million or $1 billion, I don't care. All right. This content was made by two guys with AI, with a message. It's content. Your white papers are content, your brochures are content, your sales presentations are content. Okay, two guys made this level of quality, captivating content, which you pay for in marketing, right? And then you pay for the eyeballs. These guys get free eyeballs because their work is so doggone good, so creative, such an on point message. And what I'm telling you is because of that, the cost of doing this, it would have been a fortune to get all this mapped out. And so we're talking about something that would have taken a fortune to produce that is like whittled down very little. There's no actors here, there's no lighting here, there's no studio that's physical, there's no costume. And film or TV is the richest format, right? Um, but this is the thing, when you can create a skyscraper for the cost of a house, right? This is what we're talking about. You can create a Ferrari for the cost of a bicycle. And this is a good analogy. Can I do some other ones? Call the analogy, please. Here I go. I'm going to have to get more of my energy going the next show because I'm definitely a little tired. In any event, so yeah, you got to think of it like as that. When you buy a house today with AI, you basically get to produce a skyscraper, right? It's that powerful. It's that powerful. I have an endless number of experts at my beck and call, and any number of them, and I can get them to all do something different and then come back to me with the information and agentic and all that. This is how it works for a CEO. If you're a CEO, you should have a bot for every one of your executive team. Everyone needs to have their own bot. And you guys need to learn how to collaborate with them. You need to learn how to do it immediately. And if you want me to help you, great. Keep watching or call me up. Pardon me, a little belch. But that's what's amazing about this video. And then political content, far more than anything else in social media. I mean, it's sex, it's babies, it's puppies, it's political content. I mean, there's a few things that, there's sports, but there's some things like when politics are harsh, the social media interactions go through the roof. And I was an evangelist at an AI company when Obama won. So was that 2016, I guess? And I got to do a case study. I was doing evangelism, like from the business and C-level down to the architect and even the developer. I'd write a huge blog post and explain how our technology fit in. And, you know, the guy who did the AI for the Obama campaign became quite famous in those circles. And I remember he had like a mohawk and purple hair or something. I wish I could remember the guy's name. Oh, let's ask. So, Obama AI CTO. Let's see. No, no, not what I'm talking about. All right, Google's algorithms just did something weird. Ha ha ha. Let's see. So who was this guy? Because I want to reference him. How am I doing on time? About 12 minutes. All right. Nope. It was the original guy. All right. Anyway, so actually, let me do a pick apart on this real quick. Sorry to be distracted. Maybe I'll do it another time. Let's just see. Runs high priority 79%. Yeah, good. Okay. So that's what this show's about. God, I'm gonna need to use notes too because I tend to get off track and I want to make sure I can keep coming back. Plus, I'm exhausted, so yeah. So this is that what I just closed? Hmm. I meant to go backwards. I thought I had extra browser with window open. This one. Nope. What's it called again? I feel like I'm crumbling in front of my computer. Oh, wow. All right, I'm just going to scroll through here. This is all the politics I've been following. It's so crazy. This is hysterical. I love this Jamaican song. But I'm trying to get back to this song and Oh man, if you look at some of these Marine videos for the U.S. Army, it's just insane. What was that one? I don't know. Oh, the dancing. That was beautiful. What is this one? That one was weird. Do, 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 do. No, 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 no. Rachel Maddow. Wow. Oh, yeah, I liked that Spice video. Let's see. That's not it. There's me watching me. A lot of crazy. This is my main channel. So, as you can see, there it is. Okay. Whoa. So, social media. Oh, I hope you can hear that. Yeah, this is going to be so cool. All right. So here's the deal. So they picked, and the two guys that did it, this guy here, I'm subscribing. You are subscribed to all. I want to make sure I hit you up. Uh, hey, Jason. Hey, Jason. Jason. I am reaching out. Love your song and just put it on my show. Love, 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 love. Heart. Three heart. Yeah, we're gonna do a bunch of three hearts because I think that helps get people's attention. Boop, 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 boop. Bop. Okay, so we're gonna leave him a comment. So basically, these guys that did it, and I'm gonna try to go full screen here. Let me organize this way. Do I do it that way? That way? What's the best way? No, I want the other one. Oh, not that one. Not that one. Hmm. Or I really want it to be. See, that's weird for me. We're gonna go. Nah, I'm gonna blow it up. Let's blow it up. This one. You'll be able to see it better. Okay. Although I wish this could. Can I drag this? No. All right. So not only did they create a piece of art all with AI, for a CEO is much fewer resources. You're going to get a much bigger response. And they happen to pick doing a very creative piece for a political campaign, basically. You know, it's user generated content that wins political campaigns these days. So, this quality, though, is the kind of thing, and we'll see if it happens, but they don't have a ton of hits right now. But once somebody sees this, I mean, I was in the entertainment industry. I'm a musician. I had a music podcast back in the day. Like when you're in that business for a minute, you understand what really good entertainment is and what it isn't. And this rock song is as good as any rock song I've heard. And I've been I've been into music hardcore since I was a kid. This song is, and let me pause this house thing. This song is, it's generated from what I can tell. I don't think they recorded original audio. I think it's from Suno, and I need to go look that out. But then I'm not sure what they used for the video and the editing. But when you see it, and I played just the video on the first show, it's beautiful shots, and I'll play a little bit of it and then I'll point it out. But if you're a CEO, particularly in B2C, you want this much content. You have to have this quality content. B2B, you do too, but you're a little behind. And the virality potential and the potential for coverage in the media, free coverage, right? And I can't remember which part of the peso model is for you CMOs, but it's off the charts. And then for anyone who's like a streamer or their own digital business owner, I don't even need to tell you. I think you guys know this, but I'm not necessarily trying to teach something new here. I'm pointing out that the quality of execution with AI is absolutely as good as anything else that's been out there. And so I think this is a great example of social media and AI, and really in marketing, what it looks like right now is that AI and social media are going to be like the two major pieces of marketing operations. Yes, of course, you're going to have CRM, but it's not going to be the same. We're going to be in systems of record, like people talk about in Silicon Valley. Systems, not systems of record, you're going to be systems of intelligence. So there's going to be an AI layer of your company that interacts. And then you have to figure out through social media and real life too how it's going with that user experience. So to me, as a marketer, as a salesperson, as a product person, these things are converging, right? So if they were selling a product, it's got eyeballs, right? Anyway, shout out to these guys, Jason, Corsi, great job. And I'll find you guys on Twitter, x.com. All right, so check this out. I hope you can hear it. I really do. I had an issue with that the other day. Vance, Elon, and Uncle Sam, and Trump. Look at that. So none of this is real. None of it's real. That's all AI. The song, I mean, people are making films, just one person with AI now. I don't know how long it took them to do this, but if you really know what you're doing, like if you've done one of these before or they do them all the time, I'll have to look. Unbelievable. Watch this one. Got about 3 minutes. So, so the way they did this, and it's going to apply to all your marketing, and most CEOs want to know how they become their own AI. Okay. So Elon's a great example. Um, but whether it's the process of creating a video or any other content, you got to understand, and I think it's shown best in my book, in my original book, not the one I'm making now. Yeah. Look, like here's a good example. My daughter gave me this. She was 10, and in 6 minutes she produced that. So that's happening with all content. That's happening with all sales. It's a big deal, and that's why the three principles in this show are going to be about um, leadership and generative AI, how you use it as a generative executive officer, and humanity. And I think this guy's a humanitarian, absolutely. But what's going to happen here is this. I talked about this a year ago when I went through my existential crisis. I'm like, this is what's going to happen because I automated myself here, and I was like, I don't need to hire a lot more people. Like this is absolutely happening. And another example of a way to look at it is, where's that one? A lot of stuff I cover in here in the show. So this is almost a third level. If somebody wants to go back and read the book and watch the show, and then this show, you're going to know a lot about AI. You're going to know a hell of a lot about it. Yeah. So any sales process, any marketing process, any customer experience process, any process that has a lot of content and communications, verbally or otherwise, and even through the product, the documentation, like you're just going to have an AI for that brand. And the people that have been doing this, you can now do that. And there's no stopping it. So as a CEO, it's really what I was saying. as a CEO, you've got to change the way you're thinking about this and do it quick. If you're in college, you should be the GEO of your own life right away and hop on it, because college is not going to be the same in a few years. Anyway, so I wanna leave with this. Look, here's the twist that I'm gonna put on the leadership side, because when I went through this hard time, I started studying neuropsychology, and I haven't stopped. And this is something that's rarely been applied to leadership. And frankly, there's so much stress already in jobs. I'm over it. I'm over it. CEOs need to step up and take accountability for how much stress they cause people. They really do. When you hate your job or you hate your boss and you're not an a-hole yourself, you're a good human, it's like, it's horrible. It's so frustrating. And now AI is going to just swoop everything around. Um, Remember, your business runs with people, and they're actual humans. They're not gears. They're not widgets. We're humans. And I just don't see most companies, so many people won't even say thank you in a business meeting, or they say it at the very end, oh, all right, thanks everybody. They don't really, they don't hand it out in a way that motivates people and connects them and gets them focused on being a team and doing something together, and importantly, having fun while you do your job. No one on earth wants to go, like, if I had the whole earth in front of me, you can see where I'm going to go off on this leadership thing. If I had the whole earth, haha, earth. If I had the whole earth in front of me, I'm going to put this so my name is, got to have my brand out there. It's kind of obnoxious, isn't it? But I did it anyway. So, generative AI, the world of HR and management and employees, everything about how you think about managing teams and webinars and calls and conferences and teams and it all changes everything about how humans interact. All right. And then generative AI is, as we've talked about, causing the change in leadership. And I'm going to explain as I have how that worked. And then the thing I really would like leaders to think about is the humanitarian aspect of this, because there are going to be a lot of people that are out of a job. I've been there. It's been a rough market, and it's just going to get worse. And so I really want to focus on this so that leaders can lead. My hope is that CEOs like Jamie Dinan or whoever, any of those guys, any of those top companies, any of the tech companies, the head of Palantir or Andrew or whoever, right? I think those Silicon Valley minded ones get that this is going to have an impact on humanity. Another one's Andreessen and Horowitz, right? I mean, you could just go down the list of Silicon Valley people, and for investment bankers and for private equity people. And now's the time to step up and make sure, when you do have to let a lot of people go, think about humanity, because this is not like any other time. It's time to change how you think about those three things as a CEO if you want to succeed in this next generation, because the talent pool is going to change big time, big time, big time. So that's what we're going to cover. We're going to cover leadership, generative AI, and humanity. And I think you get a sense of the show, and I'm going to keep rocking it, doing my best, and sharing all this crazy stuff I've learned. But I'm going to leave you with this closing, and I'm just going to start it from the beginning. I'm about 5 minutes over an hour, so that's cool. So watch the jump cuts. The jump cuts get your eyes, like, this is an active thing editors think about. They connect your eyes and make you like your brain. Yeah, another thing in leadership for me is neuropsychology, and I'm gonna cover that in detail because most CEOs, I've never met one that really understands neuropsychology and the biology of a brain. And it's so nonsensical because we pay a lot of money for a lot of humans to think, and you don't understand the neuropsychology of the brain. And you probably know the psychology, but this is a whole different thing. Anyway, I'm getting off track again. Um, but this is just the music, the words. It's just beautifully done as a rock song. So I'm going to enjoy it, and then I'm going to shut the show, and I'm going to try not to talk too much. All right, everyone. I'll try to play a video at the end of each show. I think these are really cool, but this has been my favorite for a while. Thank you for watching. Reach out, hi at adambloom.me, YouTube, whatever, Twitter. Look at the quality of that with the flame. Sorry. It's like I'm talking aloud at a movie. Look at the muscles. Unbelievable. I sent this to like 10 people. I'm like, this is amazing. Wow. Gaslit the world. I mean, if that's AI, that is, and it probably is, amazing. Probably Suno. If you don't know what Suno is, try suno.com to create your own music. What a great, I mean, did they really use fuck in the AI? Did they tell the AI to use fuck? I'm wondering. And JD, he looks so serious. He's like a Terminator. But this, honestly, folks, like, I think a lot of people in the United States, the majority, feels this way. We feel taken advantage of as taxpayers, and we feel like people have been stealing from us, and we're angry about it. A lot of people are really pissed off because it's been a lot of BS for too long. Um, I mean, it really does. If I let myself, it'll get me really angry to think about how much taxes I've paid in my life. I've probably paid, I want to say I've paid over $1 million of taxes in my life. Yeah. I mean, think about that. What if half that's wasted? I already know a ton of it goes to other countries, and countries who don't appreciate that they're getting free money from the United States taxpayers. And then they act out. And I'm like, mm-mm. I want to help you in your life, but if you're going to act like that, no, we're not giving you money. I just like, it's like because it's government and it doesn't, they can't feel the impact personally, then they're, whatever. No, that's just ridiculous. It's absurd. So I think I speak for a lot of Americans in that way, for my international friends. But, you know, I just want the best for the relationship between the two countries. And I'm going to continue to build a relationship with anyone who's a good human in business with me anywhere around the world. And good partnerships are good partnerships, right? Fair trade, reciprocal. It's simple and it makes sense and it's fair. And frankly, the United States like built the internet, like all the content, everything started here. There's so much free information teaching everyone around the world anything they want, right? And so American industry and American taxpayers built this. And the government, of course, has been in and around and on it, growing it. Um, so when to me, if I do run into somebody who's like really speaking shit about the United States, I'm like they are God, they do not know what they do because um, generally speaking, we're not aggressive a-holes. We're not. And when somebody's being that not fair to you and taking that much money and taking advantage of you year after year after you've been working 30 years, your whole life, or whatever it is, you're pissed. You're really pissed. This USAID thing is like, it's going to be horrible to see all the crap that's in there. It's already just a little bit, but I hope, and I think it's already inspiring. I've seen some media coverage, and this is where I'm coming to the humanity point. It's like humanity in politics. Um, this 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 change is just so radical. It's going to be very radical. Um, but I want all my business colleagues and friends and great people that I know that uh, I want a great relationship with you. And I think not only as a human, but as a U.S. citizen, as somebody from Atlanta, Georgia, in the southeastern United States, and has done business all over the world from this little pad that I live in here. It's just crazy how international it is. And so I care about our relationships. I care about your prosperity. And I think when you see what's continuing to come out of the United States, it's going to impact every government. It's already happening. It's already happening. Go ask Grok, which is going to be my primary AI that I'll probably use in here, although there'll be a bunch. So anyway, sorry for the pause in political commentary, but I felt it was really important for anyone watching the show overseas. And I'm a little over time, but we'll end on this. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time so much. Subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll be putting these out there. I'm not sure about the whole format yet, but adios. I'm out. Thank you. Let's see what we're going to do. All right, back to this. I mean, if you're a Republican that likes to talk shit, and I'll go ahead and do that, this is amazing. I mean, they programmed that. Just amazing work. Amazing work. Uncle Sam is gorgeous. I really wonder what was in an edit. I hope I could get these guys on my show. Vance reminds me, he's like, oh, that one's beautiful. They told the AI, I want her head in a jar with sand filling. Pelosi, God. And Musk should wear his hair more like this. It would look better. It really would. I mean, he's a superhero. That's the coolest, most badass Uncle Sam I've ever seen. JD Vance. He reminded me of, who was it? A Motley Crue guitarist. Just one time I saw this guy, he's just like, bup, 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 bup. I mean, they got the bass. Uncle Sam's on bass. That's AI. Trump on the drums and Musk on the mic. Isn't this amazing? I'm not usually a hard rock guy either. Wow. Just awesome. Beautiful. Yeah, these guys. Jason, Joshua, you guys are so talented. I hope I get to meet you. I'd love to chat with you more about this video. I want to see what else you've been doing. Let's see. This is your, can I click you? No, Jason Curry. All right. I'll reach out to you guys soon. Okay. I think this first show is over. I'm going to put some chill on. And then how do I actually end the stream? And does it do something cool at the end? That's a little loud. All right. You can see it got dark after hours. Thinking about doing this show at night too. But thank you, everyone, and talk to you soon. hit me up, LinkedIn, ask me anything you want.